morning. How are y'all doing? Again, we're going to have to use the audio off my laptop. I liked it so much last time that we're going to do that again. In all actuality, I just forgot my mic at my house, and I'm house sitting for my brother this week, so that's why I've got a different. Background. But let's go on ahead and get into the show. We'll talk about the Braves. They had a slow start to the second half. I sent all this stuff to Justin, and now I'm forgetting about it. But what did I tell him we were going to talk about? Yeah, Braves slow start, and let's see what else. The new old jerseys for the Titans and running back some money. Justin's got it for me on the bottom there, and then of course we're going to finish off with high school sports. So let's go ahead and get it started. Braves slow start to second half. I'm not really worried about it as a Braves fan. I mean, I don't necessarily believe it's troublesome. What I will say is you're starting to really feel not having Kyle Wright and Max Fried. Bryce Elder had a really good first half, but that guy's probably going to come back to earth at some point, and that kind of happened in that first start, and then. A second start in the second half, I think he gave up 2 or 3 runs in 6 innings. That's all he has to really do. That's really all he has to do. If Bryce Elder can be a number 5 with the other 4 guys that should be in front of him, the rotation starts to look really good again. They went out and got Taylor Hearn and Yanni Chirinos. And I want to say they tried to go pick up another bullpen arm. So, Anthopoulos, of course, he's really good at making moves and getting the right people at the right time. I've heard Adam Duvall's name has come back up, which is great. I'd love to have Adam Duvall back. I think he's a wonderful 4th, even 5th outfielder. But having him back, great defender, power bat. His batting average is going to be around 200. We know that. But Adam Duvall is a very good backup outfielder that really could help. Like I said, power bat, right-handed. So Anthopoulos is looking at things he can go out and do. I saw a photoshopped picture of Shohei Ohtani with a Braves jersey on, which is not realistic. Braves fans, please do not expect it. That's not even a rumor. That's not anything legitimate. But I thought the photo was funny, so I sent it to a friend of mine who is an Angels and Ohtani fan. And he responded with, I wouldn't blame him. Of course, talking to Ohtani and joining the Braves. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really cool, but it makes no sense. Also, the Braves don't have enough trade capital to go get the Shohei from the Angels. They have enough MLB ready draft or trade capital, but I don't think they have the prospects that the Angels would be looking for. And I don't want to give up any of the MLB ready players for a guy that's going to sign a gazillion-dollar contract next year with somebody on the coast. So that's all fun and games. Just like I said, the Shohei and the Braves jersey looked cool, but not very realistic. But I think the slow second start, we'll get there in a minute, people. The slow start in the second half, I think it's mostly just due with pitching. And they've already tried to address that. Max Fried is throwing against he was throwing some live BP a few weeks ago. I think he is moving closer. I hope y'all didn't hear my computer make that random noise. I think he is closer to actually making a rehab start. So that's actually nice. That's good that he's about to make it back, because the Braves, who for all intents and purposes are the best team in the National League by most people's opinion, not just mine, that they've been at the top of the power rankings for the first half of the season. They're about to get their ace back. And then Kyle Wright, who won 20 games last year. We forget about that. I think Kyle's a little bit further away. So he may not be exactly ready yet. But if the Braves can squeak in the playoffs and then they get Kyle Wright back around that time, that may be helpful. One thing, Colby Allard, the Titans, my goodness. I promise. I sat here and I thought about this all morning long. I don't know why I'm talking. I don't know why I'm screwing up the names of teams, but the Braves, of course, they had Colby Allard. Colby Allard was a part of that young class that was coming up and was supposed to help the Braves win a World Series. Of course, they won a World Series, but Colby wasn't necessarily a big part of that. Of course, he got traded out to Texas, and then they traded back for him. Colby made a few really good starts that Atlanta really needed due to some injuries and other things. But he has now been put on the 60-day DL with a pretty serious shoulder issue, I believe. I believe it was a shoulder issue. So I hate that for him. I hate that for Colby because he had pitched, again, he was not Cy Young material, and that's okay. But Colby Allard had really done some really great things for Atlanta this season, especially with all the injuries and other issues that they had to deal with. He had come in and been a really important piece and really helped out. So I hate to hear that he's facing injury issues. Michael Soroka was sent back down. I love Mike Soroka. I've talked about him for the past 4 or 5 years at least. I've got text messages with people talking about how much of a Michael Soroka fan I was in 2018, 2017 maybe. I don't even think they had him yet then. Sorry, there's a bug on my table. Maybe it was 2019. Either way, I've been a big Michael Soroka fan for a while, but let's be honest, people, his ERA was 5.5. He was more or less throwing glorified batting practice. I think he could use the rest of this year to get his body back completely because he's been out of the game for 2 years now. So he needs the rest of this year maybe to get his body back and get his feet underneath him really and really get back into the flow of things. So hopefully Michael can kind of get back into the starting rotation next year. But I think he probably needs to spend maybe not the rest of this season, but at least a good portion of it down in AAA to kind of get trying to get back to who he was. But he's been sit back down. Braves, slow start. I would, like I said, I'm not necessarily worried about it. They still have one of, if not the best offense in all of baseball. Some of the arms are on their way back. Anthopoulos has made some trades, and he's not giving anything up. He's not giving a whole lot of anything up for the guys that he's went out and got. I haven't seen what the Braves traded for Taylor Hearn, so I don't want to say anything too much yet. But I believe he's making some moves, trying to fix all that. So we should be good to go. Let's see. What was that second take again, Justin? Titans, new, old jerseys. Now, because even I sometimes feel like an idiot. I'm going to tell you what I thought was happening. When I saw the video originally of the teaser or whatever they call it, they had the Titans jersey and the oil was dripping on it. At first, I didn't think that was oil. I thought it was black. I thought it was like black paint, and I thought the Titans were going to get black jerseys. I'm a little bit disheartened to find out that the Titans don't have black jerseys. But and listen, here's the deal. If you're watching me right now and you haven't seen the Titans Oilers jerseys yet, you should probably just go ahead and pause my show or whatever and go check that out real quick and then come back. Because they look nice. They look really, really good. Now, I know most of you have seen it, and I'm not going to sit here and just talk about how pretty a jersey is. But there is one thing I wanted to bring up, and I was talking with some other friends of mine that are Titans fans last night, and they told me that, that they like the idea of wearing these in Houston. I do too. First of all, though, let's just realize something that is extremely disrespectful. To wear the Houston remake jerseys in Houston. Now, it is disrespectful, but I need all of you to know that I don't care, and I think it's hilarious if the Titans were to wear those in Houston. But you probably are going to peeve somebody off. I don't care about their opinions, and I don't really care about anybody, much less Houston Texans fans. But you may ruffle some feathers. Again, I love feather ruffling. So if y'all want to, I'm down. I'm not necessarily looking for conflict, but I wouldn't mind, pissing somebody off. That's one of my favorite things to do in my life, is making people upset. So if y'all want to wear the Houston jerseys, the Houston remake jerseys in Houston, I'm down. I am so down. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about with the jerseys, but I feel like they look really, really vibrant. And I think one thing that needs to be said is, the jerseys back in the day were probably really vibrant too, but the televisions that we watched them on weren't necessarily all that vibrant. So now you're getting to really see the colors the way they should be seen. Of course, it was Jeffrey Simmons, Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill. Oh, Kevin Byard was there too. Those were the four players that were kind of in this photo shoot. You couldn't have picked the better four players. All four of those guys really represent Tennessee and what it means to be a Titan. And so I love how they did that. I love the way the jerseys look. I think they're very clean. I think they're very sophisticated looking. There's not too much going on. It doesn't look like a prison cell jersey like those Steelers jerseys. It looks really nice. It pays homage to the older jerseys. You should check them out. If you haven't seen it yet, even if you're not a Titans fan, if you haven't seen these jerseys yet, you need to go look at them. It was on their Instagram page that I saw them, but again, you can probably just do a Google search and find it. But they look really nice. Y'all should go check it out. Now, we do have a few other things we're gonna go over as far as like running backs and their contract stuffs and then contract stuffs. I said stuffs. I'm so sorry. Running backs and their contract stuff. We're also going to talk a lot of high school or maybe some local stuff. It may not all be high school sports, but a lot of local stuff. But before we get there, we're going to go to a quick commercial real quick. So y'all stay right here and join me for the second half.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start seeing them sticking their head out of the pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. It's animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bartu.
I'm just going to tell y'all real quick, they're overestimating people's intelligence. Put them in that zoo. You got these fake animals, which look great. The animatronics, that's cool with the dinosaur-looking things and all that. But the issue is you're going to have some idiot that thinks that there's another animal that's not necessarily real when it is real. That may lead to a really bad news headline for Main Street, Nashville. Regardless, though, I will say I'm a huge fan. I love zoos and animals and stuff like that. The only bad thing is it's outside, and it's currently hot right now. Like I said, I'm having a house sit for my brother because he's got a dog, and I walked that thing outside earlier today, and it's about 273 degrees. If I had to guess, it's about 273 degrees. So y'all take that what you will. It actually looks like a lot of fun, though, the Nashville Zoo. I've been there a few times. As much as I make jokes about going outside and stuff like that, it actually is a really wonderful place. I love cats. I love big cats. So that may be something that I go check out. I had another joke. I was telling Justin about it in our little comment thing. I was gonna talk about animals for a minute. I had another joke that was really good. I even laughed at myself about it. Now I forgot it. I'm sorry, but we're gonna go ahead and get on into the third take. The running back. There's a running back situation now that I'm going to be honest. It's because of guys like let's see, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara makes $15 million a year. Alvin Kamara deserves Kamara. I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. Alvin Kamara makes $15 million a year. Now, Alvin Kamara also, coincidentally, was drafted in the third, fourth round? And he didn't necessarily have all that money when he started. Now you have, we'll talk about Nyheim Hines in a minute. He's been in a really bad injury. We'll talk about him in a minute. But I know this was brought up by Austin Eckler. And Austin Eckler had a Zoom call. Derrick Henry was a part of that, which is weird because Derrick Henry is the third highest paid running back in the NFL. But there were some other running backs, and Saquon Barkley was one of them. Saquon Barkley, who is in the last year of his deal, he said something along the lines of, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to tell my teammates, forget you, for lack of a better word? Sorry, I can't use the language Saquon used, but for lack of a better word, Saquon said, forget you. Am I supposed to say that to my teammates? Am I supposed to do that? He said, I'm not the type of person that would want to do that, but he's got to look out for his future too. That some of the money I'm sitting here looking at, y'all may wonder what I'm looking at. I'm sitting here looking at the contracts for some NFL running backs, and you see the younger guys down here at the bottom. They just, as usual, don't make near as much money, and that, I mean, we know that. But some of these other guys, I mean, Derrick Henry's getting paid fairly handsomely. So is Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, like we talked about. Nick Chubb, he's on a $12.2 million deal. Aaron Jones making $11.5 million. There are a few running backs that are making fairly decent money right now, but I think even the running backs would tell you that they're not making the type of money that they think they should be making. In the grand scheme of things, and listen, I know there are going to be people that are sitting here, and you may listen to me. You may not be listening to me, but you may hear what running backs are saying about not getting paid. all this other stuff. And you might think they're all millionaires. You know, what are they going to do? Make a few million less? And I get that. I understand. I understand that they're all millionaires, and that complaining the way they do doesn't make a lot of sense when it's tough for people like me or you to make sure that our lights stay on, and to make sure that our refrigerators are full, to make sure that we can send our kids off to school. And I get all of that is very, very real. And I understand that the money that is thrown around in these professional organizations is kind of ridiculous. But just hear me out. Running backs are not. There's a pie going around, and they want their piece of the pie, and they don't feel like their piece of the pie is representative of who they are, what they've given to the sport. I understand that to a certain degree. I hate the fact that they feel the way they do about their contracts, you know, but at the same time, running backs do play, other than offensive or defensive linemen and maybe linebacker, running backs play the toughest position on the field. They go through quite a lot. And just like any other position on the field, I've always believed that every one of these guys that puts on these helmets and put these pads on, I feel like every one of them should go out there and do the best they can to get their bag, to get all the money to set up their family, to set up their future generations. And there's just so much money in the NFL. I mean, I think the running backs want a little bit more of it. I think they deserve a little bit more of it. But I'm just here to tell you, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from the middle class people. I mean, we've got a government that takes money from us consistently to pay for stuff that we don't even get to have fun with. We have a government that is ran by evil people, disgusting people, and we pay money out of our pocket daily in taxes. So, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of you're just not going to get a lot of sympathy from most American people. You're also it also looks really, really bad on you as a top tier running back if you're getting paid in the tens of millions of dollars, and the team can go draft a kid out of North Dakota, Wilmington State University Tech for the blind. They can draft him in the 5th round. That is not as good as you, no, but he's like literally 1/20th of the same price tag as you are, and still does quite a bit to help the team. You know, the running backs, they can be drafted 4th, 5th round. I mean, you can wait on them and go get them then. And depending on how they fit in your system is what's important. Gone are the days consistently. I know Bijan Robinson was drafted in the 1st round this year, and Saquon went in the 1st round a few years ago. I mean, even Derrick Henry was an early 2nd round pick. So 1st round running backs, McCaffrey was one. Barkley was one. As I go down, Bijan Robinson one. Jahmyr Gibbs is another one. But as I go down this list, there's Najee Harris, but he's way down this list. So the further I go down this list, the less I see 1st round running backs. And so it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I've always been a big fan of the players getting paid more, simply because the money's already there and it shouldn't go back into the pockets of the billionaires. It just shouldn't. The billionaires already own the team. There's no telling what they've done to be that rich in the first place to own an NFL team. They don't need more money going back into their pockets. More of the pie should be shared with the players. I've said that for a long time. More of the pie should be shared amongst everybody that doesn't own the team, in my personal opinion. But I don't own the team, so it's easier to say that. That's about all I wanted to say on the running backs and money. There is a lot more that should be said. There are a lot more opinions about it. I could understand and I'm not necessarily even making a stance here. I just wanted to let everybody know there's quite a few running backs that are upset. I think the money should be shared better than it is. But if you're an NFL player and you're watching this, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from us. if you can think about it in the way I do, and to understand that the billionaires are already rich and they should be sharing the money more anyway, then amongst the players, staff, the janitors, the ushers, everybody that works in that building on game days, every single person other than the owner, I think should be getting paid more. However, I'm not the owner, so it is easy to say that. And I know I just said that, but that's more or less what I wanted to bring up. But we got about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the final take of high school sports and some other local stuff. Burns had a little league team that made it to the state tournament. Of course, Nolensville wound up winning. The Nolensville Little League has over 250 12-year-olds in it, which is crazy. But the Nolensville team was able to put together another God squad, and those kids are headed off to Kernersville, North Carolina, I believe, is where the regional tournament will be held. The winner of that, I do believe, goes to Williamsport then. I believe. I may be wrong. But we've got that. Let's see. We've got I'm trying to think if there's any other non-high school stuff. Of course, there's middle school football happening, and I went and talked to Coach Profit. I need to catch up with some of the other middle school coaches. So we've got that coming up. Oh, in Dixon last week, there was a middle school volleyball play day. So even the volleyball teams are raring up, getting ready to go for, I think, is it August 1st? Is it August 1st when school starts back? And then, of course, the seasons will begin not too long after that. Golf isn't too far away, I don't think, either. I don't think golf's too – maybe I'm crazy. Maybe golf's the other – yeah. Maybe – I don't know. I'm losing my mind. That's easy to understand. But as far as high school sports, last week I was supposed to there was supposed to be a Harpeth and Creekwood 7-on-7 last Thursday, and of course the weather came through and kind of screwed that up. But this week Dixon is, I believe, hosting Greenbrier at 6. Dixon County High School is hosting Greenbrier at 6 for a scrimmage. And Creekwood, I don't know if Creekwood is hosting Clarksville, if they're going to Clarksville. I still need to talk to Coach about that. But they have a scrimmage with Clarksville this Friday as well. I know the Cheatham teams have some scrimmages this weekend. I need to contact those teams and figure out what's going on there. But Creekwood too. Creekwood had a play day for high school volleyball, varsity and junior varsity. That was last Saturday. Dixon County didn't compete, but Creekwood was there. Sycamore, all three public teams in Cheatham was there. Cheatham County Central, Sycamore, and Harpeth. That was great. I was able to contact each of the volleyball coaches. They were all happy to give me some information. Just did a small write-up on that. But it's kind of good for me to get back into the rhythm of things, because here we go. It is July 25th. The school starts back up in a few days. It doesn't really ever feel like it stops. Maybe it slows down just a hair, but even then, there's still a lot going on. And now, I just got a text that they might be trading Shohei. You think? We'll talk about that next week. I don't have that information now. This is Tuesday, July 25th. It's right before noon. This is going to go live at Wednesday. If Shohei's been traded by the time you see this, I'm sorry. I wish I could have talked about it, but I don't know. I don't know right now. But we have high school sports. It's just around the corner, and it is going to be live wire here in a whole minute. I need to start finding me some freelancers helping me cover all this stuff. We got a great team of photographers, and y'all pray for Shane Rye. He's a friend of mine. He's one of the photographers that has helped us in Dixon. He's going through some stuff right now. He asked for prayers on Dixon the other day, or on Dixon on Facebook the other day. So keep him in your prayers, in your thoughts. We got Marty, who's also another guy in Dixon. He's been there for years. He's a huge help. And Bill Clark, who's been in Cheatham for a very long time. He loves his Harpeth stuff, but Bill does a lot to help me keep up with Sycamore and Cheatham County Central. But we've got all those guys. We got a football season coming up, and let's see how it goes. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out with me.